So, Julia, let's talk about types of people.
Okay.
All right, first one. Are you a fitness freak?
A fitness freak. I'm fairly fit, but I'm not a freak. No, I'm not a fitness freak, no.
No, so you exercise, but it's not like you do it all the time.
No, and I do some unhealthy stuff as well. I like to drink, and I'm a former smoker, and yeah, no, I'm not a fitness freak.
Right, yeah, I think, a fitness freak is like somebody who exercises compulsively.
I indulge in bad stuff too, so no, I'm not a fitness freak.
Okay, so that leads us to the next question. Are you a party animal?
Not anymore. I'm too old now.
But when you were younger, you were a party animal.
Yeah, I'd say that was probably the type that I most fitted into.
Oh, nice. I was never a party animal. No, I've always been pretty tame. I've always been pretty tame.
Yeah, I was pretty wild when
Really?
I was younger. Yeah.
So you used to drink, smoke, stay up late.
Yeah, all that and more. Yeah.
Come home in the wee hours of the morning.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice. That's cool. Okay, next one would be, do you know anybody in your family who's a couch potato?
Couch potato.
Because I know that you're not a couch potato.
I'm not a couch potato. No, my brother sometimes demonstrates couch potato traits.
Yeah.
He likes to play video games and stuff like that, and he'll spend a lot of time watching movies, and so he does spend a lot of time sedentary. Compared to me, he makes me look like a fitness freak, I guess, because he doesn't do so much exercise.
Right. And so for people listening, the couch potato is somebody who watches a lot of TV and sits on the couch.
Spends a lot of time on the couch, yeah.
Well, how about the similar personality trait of the bookworm? Are you a bookworm?
A bookworm? No, but I think my husband's probably a bookworm.
Yeah. So he
spends a lot of time reading books. He reads very fast, so he gets through a lot of books.
He's a speed reader.
He's just a very fast reader, and he has to he has to have a book with him all the time. He cannot, a waiting room or on a train or any situation where you've just got to sit around, he cannot do it if he doesn't have a book.
Yeah, I live alone, and that's a terrible trait that I have. I cannot sit and eat and just eat without something to occupy my attention. I have to read, or I have to be like watching something on the computer. And if I go to a waiting room or anything like that, or I'm on a plane, I'm the same. I have to have something to read. It drives me nuts.
See, I can't read on transport because I get sick. Makes me sick, makes me nauseous. I get seasick.
Sickness.
Yeah. So I don't have a habit of reading on a bus or a car. Oh my God, no, I can't read. There's no way. But my husband reads everywhere all the time.
Now, there's a couple that are not as nice. They can be positive or negative. Like, for example, a helicopter parent.
A helicopter parent, what's that?
So a helicopter parent is basically a parent that just hovers over their child all the time. They're always worried about their child. They follow them everywhere. They want to know what they're doing at all times, and they just worry a lot. They're so worried.
That sounds very stressful.
Yeah.
As a parent.
They're always worried their child's going to get hurt or something, or that they just are just overprotective, I guess. So are you a helicopter parent?
No, I don't think so. No. I'm very happy for my daughter to have independence. So
yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
that's good. So you don't, like, if she goes outside for a few minutes, or if she's, you hear some clanging in the next room, you don't go rushing over.
No. I wait for the tears before I go over.
Smart. And then recently, because of a very popular book we have, it's called A Tiger Mom.
A tiger mom?
Yeah, a tiger mom.
Sounds cool. Is it a positive term, or is it?
It is kind of. It actually the tiger, I think, comes from the Asian reference. It's like for an Asian mother. And it's basically really strict, really driven. Like, really push your kids. Make them study hard, demand good grades, demand that they do extracurricular activities, really push them to have high-paying careers or successful careers, do well academically, stuff like that.
From very young,
Yeah,
this...
from very young. The woman wrote a book. I think it's actually called Tiger Mom, and she was a Yale professor, and I think she was of Chinese ancestry, and she raised these very successful daughters. And so she wrote a book and basically saying you need to be strict and push your kids and demand excellence. I think that's what she wrote.
Is the tiger? Is it reference to like the Chinese horoscope then? Maybe like the characteristics of the tiger for that year.
No, actually, I just think it has to do with being a tiger comes from Asia. I think that's it.
Well, a tiger does have a pretty kind of aggressive or driven sort of image. Like
right.
When a tiger gets something in its sights, like
yeah, totally.
No, I'm not so much a tiger mom. No.
So you're a soccer mom?
More of a soccer mom, I think. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, that's what I would want, a soccer mom.
Soccer mom, yeah.
So Juliet, now you are a parent.
That's right.
And have you heard of all these terms that we have in the U.S. for different types of parents? I wonder if you have them in the U.K.
You mean like soccer mom, stuff like that?
Exactly.
That's the only one I've heard of, actually.
Okay, so what do you think a soccer mom is? What have you heard?
My image is a mother who dedicates her time to running her kids to and from soccer practice. Is that right? And also
right.
drives a big vehicle. My image is like a big SUV or a big four-wheel drive.
Right. I think it's like a parent that has many scheduled events for their child.
Oh, okay.
So like
and
maybe they have
between
swim class, soccer practice, ballet, stuff like that.
Oh, maybe I'm a little bit of a soccer mom.
Yeah, I think yeah. I think it's a good term. Like I think a soccer mom usually is considered a caring parent.
Okay.
And they try to have their child do like productive
things. Must be
things.
quite an affluent, perhaps middle class kind of parent.
Yeah, exactly. Now we have the equivalent, and it's called a NASCAR dad.
Is NASCAR some kind of car racing?
Yeah, basically it's just these cars, they run around in a circle. It's kind of like horse racing for cars. They just go round and round. But yeah, so I guess it's the same thing. It's just a dad who's really into his kids. Spends a lot of time with his kids.
Would this be a stay-at-home dad?
No. It's just kind of like a good old boy father, like a dad who's kind of blue-collar, not rich, maybe lower middle class maybe, but just kind of like your typical TV sitcom dad, I guess.
But that's nice. Takes his kids everywhere. That's nice.
Yeah.
Involved in the...
Yeah, like a NASCAR dad would probably take his sons hunting and maybe take his daughter shopping and stuff like that. Well, actually, speaking of extreme sports, we're talking about extreme sports. Have you heard about ultra marathon?
I'm reading a book right now that's about a tribe of ultra runners in Mexico, and I think it's going to come onto the subject of ultra marathons.
Yeah, I mean, what does the book talk about?
The book talks about this very old tribe who can run for days. Days, yeah, and some of the members of this tribe are already in their 80s and 90s, and they scale mountains, and they have a very frugal diet. They run barefoot.
Barefoot?
They run barefoot.
In the desert, on rocks?
Desert. Yeah.
Wow.
And they are bought, they run as soon as they learn to walk, they're running, and they run their whole lives. And they run 100 miles is just like a walk in the park to them. They just...
That's insane.
At very high speeds.
I mean, do they have some secret, some traditional secret?
Well, yeah, they do. They're a very mystical tribe, and they're not that well known. The book's written by a journalist who investigates, and he records his story of how he gets to meet. Just even finding them and meeting them is a huge ordeal in itself. Because, I mean, physiologically, it sounds like that's impossible. Like the human body can only run so far because it needs water, it needs food, it needs rest. I don't know. I think part of the philosophy of the book is that we're limited by our belief in that, and that in fact this tribe don't have that belief, therefore they don't have those limits. They kind of surpass those limits simply by, they just do it. Nobody told them they couldn't, so they just did it. Nobody told them they needed a pair of $100 shoes in order to run. They just it's like it's a natural human thing, and it's like an atavistic thing. Wow. humans, we can run down gazelle. We can run faster than horse. I mean, we can run further than horses and these creatures that we think have
Are you sure about
ability.
that?
Absolutely, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never heard that before.
That's why, people who, it's quite dangerous to run with a dog, for example. People who run and take the dogs, because dogs can't run as far as humans.
Really?
Yeah, and dogs can't sweat. Humans can run and run and run for days. That's how they killed prey when we were in the caves.
They just never gave up.
You can outrun an antelope, because antelope can only have short, sharp bursts of speed, but a pack of humans can run down any animal on the planet.
Well, that's good to know. If I ever need to kill an antelope.
Well, yeah, obviously you can't just, stick your shoes on and set off and.
Wow. Good stuff, though. But would you like to try it someday? Try one of these ultra marathons?
I think it's good to have a goal, but I like training for these kind of things. And ultramarathon, mentally, I don't know I have that ability to run for that far and that long. I'd like to have. I'd like to try and develop that stamina.
Yeah. I think maybe in my younger days, but
no, I don't.
Or another life, but I'm going to pass.
I think that running actually requires a lot of maturity. So the older you get, the better you are at running, because you give up on stuff when you're young, and your brain's quite, you can't concentrate. You learn concentration and discipline, and they come with age and maturity. So I think we get better runners as we get older. That's what I'm banking on anyway.
Yeah, me too. So I got that on my side. Hey, Julia.
Hey, Todd. How you doing?
Good. Now, Julia, you are really fit, and also you are a yoga instructor and a runner. So you are the perfect person to talk about extreme exercise. Extreme.
I wouldn't say I'm an extremist, but go on.
Okay, so first of all, I thought I would ask about this yoga that you do in like really hot rooms or something like that. Oh,
yeah, the Bikram yoga it's called. Yeah, I never tried it myself. I know it's kind of a growing craze. Maybe Madonna made it really popular. As far as I know, you do it in a sauna, but it can't possibly be a sauna
not a real sauna, right?
Yeah, I don't know what the temperature is, but I think the philosophy behind it is to try to recreate the same climate as you'd find in India, where yoga originates.
Oh, right. So you want it to be really hot
and humid, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And also people who like to get the kind of the stretch value, but also like to sweat at the same time. If you want to sweat at yoga, then to crank up the temperature is going to help you.
Wow, that's intense. Well, what about, have you heard about CrossFit?
CrossFit?
Yeah,
no.
CrossFit's the big rage in America.
CrossFit? No, I haven't heard of that.
CrossFit is like, people do all of these really old school exercises, like push-ups or pull-ups.
Star jumps.
They do like jumping jacks. They do really weird things like deadlifts, stuff like that. But they do it one after the other in really short time intervals. And like you're supposed to, like the workout only takes 12 minutes.
Whoa.
But if you do it right, I think like some people actually get so fatigued they throw up. So like you really push your body to the limit.
Well, that is extreme.
It is extreme. Although I'm probably saying it wrong. Yeah. So, but it's actually this big craze where people do more natural body movements, and you never do the same thing twice. You're not supposed to get into a routine. You always do things different.
You do it like spontaneously, or you set yourself a program?
I think that, there's a whole website. You can go to the CrossFit website and they explain it all. Yeah, but it looks pretty cool. It's like not your typical gym type workout.
CrossFit sounds like something you do on a BMX or something.
Right, exactly.